The first step is to make your own world. Make sure you choose creative and to have your NPCs turned on and pause the time. This will just make it easier for you to mess with your NPC later. You can name it whatever you want. Once you load into your world, type into chat /op self. That will make you admin of your server and give you access to your creative mode tools. Alright, the next thing you want to do, open your inventory, go to creative tools, and open up your asset editor. Once that is open, up here where it says Hytale read only, click the 3 dots next to it and add a pack. The pack name is whatever you want it to be named. Group name would be your name if you're with a group of people, whatever you decide. I am not. Version is whatever version it is. Let's leave it at 1.0 for now. Leave the website URL and descriptions empty. Add an author and put your name in there, and then save it. Next, what you want to do is set up your folder structure. Hold down the Windows key and press R. And in this box that pops up, type in %appdata%. Press OK. Once you're here, scroll down until you find Hytale. I recommend you right-click it and pin it to your quick access, because you will be going here a lot. Once you're in here, to find your pack you just made, go into user data, saves, and then whatever you named your server. And then click mods. And then whatever you named your pack. Yours should be empty. Mine has a bunch of stuff in it because I've already completed the mod. You don't want to worry about anything in the servers folder. You won't be touching anything in here. This is all handled by the asset editor in-game. What you do want to do is right-click, add a new folder, make the common folder, and inside this folder, make a folder named audio, make one named icons, make one named NPC, make one named resources, and make one named sounds. Inside the audio folder, make one called sound event. Go inside the sound event folder, make one called SFX. Go inside the SFX folder, make one named NPC. Go inside the NPC folder, make one named undead. Go inside undead, make one named skeleton. Go inside skeleton, and in here is where you'll place all your audio files. Go all the way back up into your common folder. This time we're going to go down the icon chain. Go into your icons folder and make one named items generated. Go inside that, and this is where any icons for items you're going to make that'll drop from your mobs, that's where they'll go. Go back to common. Now go into the NPC folder. Inside here, make one named undead. Make one named skeleton. Inside the skeleton folder, make 2 folders, one named animations and one named models. Go inside the animations folder and make 2 inside of this, one called damage and one called default. Okay, go back to your skeleton folder and then go inside your models folder, and inside this make 2 folders, one named attachments and one named model underscore textures. Inside the attachments folders, in here is where you'll add attachments. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but this is where you would add attachments in here. Inside of model textures, this is where all the textures for your different mobs will be. And if you're going to make variants, this is also where your variant textures will be. Okay, go back to your common folder. Now go down into your resources folder and make a folder called materials. Go inside that folder. And this is where all the materials will be for any blocks you add. Go back to your common folder. Go into your sounds folder. Make a folder in here called NPC. Go into your NPC folder. make a folder called undead. Go into your undead folder, make a folder called skeleton. Now, after you finish setting up your folder structure, you want to make the assets in the Hytale asset editor itself. The first thing you want to do is make your models. So click the add button up here. Change the asset type to model asset. For the unique asset ID, you just want to type in test and then create it first. The reason you want to do that is because the folder structure inside of the asset editor does not exist yet. And if you try to build your folder structure, it'll give you errors. After you make the test asset, then come back and create a new asset. And then we'll go in here. Go into folders. Type down here, make a new folder. It's going to be called undead. Create folder. Go into undead. Select this folder. And this is where you're going to do it. Your unique asset ID is whatever you want to name your mob. Preferably something unique so that it's not overwritten by other mods or conflicting with anything in the game. So for example, for this mod pack I made, my assets were named Hams, Creeper, and then whatever type of creeper, whatever variant of creeper it was. And then before you click create, go here to copy asset, change this to Hytale, scroll down to undead, scroll down to skeleton. Once you've selected skeleton, just click create. And it will make your mob. Now don't worry, it'll just look like a skeleton. It won't look like anything for now. We're going to make the model later. Now that you have your model asset, the next thing you want to do is make your NPC role. So you're going to do the same thing you just did. Click this plus button up here. Change the asset type to NPC role. Make the test asset first so you can make the folder structure. After you've done that, make a new asset, NPC role, folder, make one named undead. Inside that, make one named skeleton. Inside that, make another folder named skeleton. Sometimes you have to double click a bunch, it doesn't work really. And then select the second skeleton folder as your folder. Same thing, unique asset ID, name it whatever you want. Mine is Cams, Creeper, Plains. And then for copy asset, change this to Hytale, NPC, NPC role, undead, skeleton, skeleton, then scroll down to skeleton fighter, and then create. And that will make your NPC role asset. Don't worry, the asset editor doesn't exist yet inside the asset editor for NPC roles, but don't worry, you're not changing much in here, and I'll explain it to you. Now that you've made your NPC roles and your model asset, next you'll want to do is make the drop table for your mob. This will determine what is dropped when you kill your mob. To do that, you're going to make two assets. You're going to make one that is an item drop list. Don't forget to make your test asset first, and then come back and make a new asset. Make a folder named NPC. Go inside that folder, make one named loadouts, and make one named undead. Go inside the loadouts folder, and select this one. And then name it the same name as your mob. And then copy asset, Hytale, item drop list, NPCs, loadouts, and then skeleton fighter random weapon. And then create. And that'll give you... Now this will give you the loadouts for your mob. Next, click the plus again. Same thing, item drop list. Go into your folders, NPC. Now go into the undead folder, select that one, and then do the same thing. Name, whatever you want it to be. And then copy assets. We're going to go to item drop list, NPC, undead, and then drop underscore skeleton underscore fighter. And that'll give you your drop list. Sometimes in the game, I don't know why it does this, but sometimes it'll pull drops from your drop list, and sometimes it'll pull drops from your loadout list. I don't know why it does that, but just keep that in mind. If you only want it to drop one item, you need to make both folders still, and you need to put them in both folders. It'll pull from one of the two. The next asset you're going to make is going to be your root interaction. So click the plus, asset type root interaction. Same thing, make your test asset so you can get your folder structure going. Go into your folder, make a folder named NPCs. Don't worry about the item folders, this is unrelated, this is something different. Inside of NPCs, make a folder named undead, and then select the undead folder. And then name it, this one, name it root underscore NPC underscore and then your mob name. And then for copy asset, go to Hytale, item, root interaction, NPCs, undead, and scroll down until you find root NPC skeleton fighter underscore attack. Root underscore NPC underscore skeleton underscore fighter underscore attack, and then create. Next, you want to make your spawn markers. Do this, click the plus. This time you don't need to make a test asset because you don't have a folder structure for this. You can just name it whatever your mob is named. And then the copy, Hytale, NPC, spawn marker, undead, skeleton fighter, and then click create. Next, you want to make your world NPC spawn. This is determined on where you want your NPC to spawn. So if you want them to spawn in zone 1 tier 1, you're going to copy the wander zone 1 tier 1 asset. If you don't know which one is which, you can go into Hytale, NPC, spawn, world spawns, and then go into the zone you want to spawn them in, and then click on each of the wander zones. Inside of it, if you look at the source code, at the very top it says environments, env zone 1 plains. Plains would be the biome. So for us, we're just going to edit wander zone tier 1. So to do that, click the plus. Same thing, make your test asset so you can have your folder structure. You're going to name the folder whatever zone you want your creature to spawn in. So for me, it's zone 1. And then select that folder. The asset ID has to be the same. You cannot change this. Depending on the one you're copying, it has to have the exact same name. So for me, it's going to be wander underscore zone 1 underscore tier 1. And then I'm going to copy, go to Hytale, NPC, spawn, world spawn, zone 1, wander zone 1 tier 1, and then create. Now that you've made all your assets in the Hytale asset editor, you're going to make all the assets feed off of each other instead of reading the default assets. So first we're going to start with your world NPC spawn. So whichever zone and tier you chose, go into that. And what you want to do is just copy one of these that are in here by default. Copy it. Click up here to this bracket. Press enter. And then paste it right there. So that's what I did right here. And then where it says ID, change this ID to the name of your mob. So for me, Cam's Creeper Plains. the higher the weight number, the more likely it is to spawn in. Spawn block set is what block type it will spawn on top of. Don't worry about the flock and size. They don't seem like they do anything. I've messed around with them and they didn't change anything. So I don't think they work. Just leave them at default, which is 1, 2. Daytime range at the bottom. This determines what time of day your mobs can spawn. So 0, from in between 0 and 24. So if you want them to spawn at any time, leave it default. Now that you've done that, click apply changes. And then go up to your spawn marker. In your spawn marker, just change the name to your mob name. Whatever your mob's ID is, change it to that. And leave everything else default. Now that you've done that, go up to your NPC role. So whatever you named it, click on that. Now there's going to be a lot of stuff in here. This is going to be really confusing because it doesn't have the asset editor yet, like the visual editor. But we're not changing much in here, okay? You can go through, it's pretty self-explanatory. Every single line has a description telling you what it does. But what's really important is if you scroll down, you'll see right here it says modify, and then it has a bunch of values, like max health, max speed, chase relative speed, hearing range. This is where you want to edit your mob and its stats. So you can change its max health here, change its max speed, its hearing, its view, all of this. And then look down a little bit more. Right here where it says drop list, change this to the name of your drop list you made up here. So whatever your name of your drop list is, put that there. For the appearance, whatever your model asset is called, set that as your appearance. Put that name here. And scroll on a little more where it says attack, root, NPC, skeleton, fighter, attack. Change that to what your root NPC is called. So for me, root, NPC, cams, creeper, attack. And then right here, you can change the attack distance as well. You won't be able to change that inside of the root interaction. You have to change that here. And if you scroll down a little bit more, there's more stats, like your combat turn speed, the combat behavior distance. You can go through and change these how you want, mess around with them until you get happy with it. And you don't have to change anything else. Everything else will feed off of the skeleton AI that is already built into the game. Now that you've done that, skip over your models. We're going to come to that last. And go to your root interaction, your root NPC, whatever your name is. Now we're going to use the visual editor for this because it's a lot simpler than using the source. Tags, attack. It's either melee or ranged. There is a third attack type that I haven't found out what it does yet. I haven't found it referenced anywhere in the game, and I've messed around with it and it didn't do anything. So just worry about melee and ranged. Then go into interactions. Go into 0. Now type. There's a bunch of different types. What you want to worry about is chaining. That is the type you want to have selected. Chaining means that your NPC will go through the list you have chosen for it and do attacks from that list. If you want it to have effects while attacking, then you would click effects, particles, 0, and you could do that here. For me, I made a creeper from Minecraft, so for me, he blows up, and I chose the explosion effect. It's already in the game. You don't have to have effects or particles though. Now click down here, click next, 0, and this is where you're going to configure your actual attacks. So for me, my attack type is explode because I made a creeper from Minecraft. I added its effects right here. And then down here at config, you can choose if you want your attack to damage entities, damage blocks, the block damage radius, the block damage fall off, the drop chance for if the explosion is going to blow up the block, what percentage chance it has to drop a block, the damage radius for entities, so players or other mobs, and then how much damage it does to the entity. I have my entity damage at 500 because it's an explosion, and that's enough to kill you in full copper armor but not kill you in iron. You can also change your knockback, which knockback has 3 different types: directional, force, or point. If you want the knockback to be from where they were hit, you want to do point. Force, keep it between 0 and 1. Anything above 1 will crash your game. Duration, between 0.1 and 1. Anything above 1 will also crash your game. Velocity type, keep it at add. Then down to item tools. If you want to do an explosion like I have, and you want it to break blocks nearby, you want to do item tools, specs, and then 5 different specs. Spec 0 would be for soft blocks. Power is how much damage it does to soft type blocks. 1 will be soils, and same thing. 2 will be woods. 3 will be rocks. 4 will be benches. And 5 will be volcanic rocks. That is every different type of block type in the game, and you have to set that or else it just won't do damage to the block. And that is it for that. Now that you've set up all your assets and had them interact with each other, now you want to go to Assets and Model Editor. This will open up Blockbench. If you haven't downloaded it already, you need to download it and install the Hytale plugin. There are plenty of videos of how to do that on YouTube. Click on Hytale Character, create new model, name it whatever you want. This is not a tutorial on how to use Blockbench. There are plenty of that on YouTube. If you need to do that, this is your time to go look at that and then come back. So after you've made your model, you want to texture it. And after you've made your texture, you want to go ahead and animate it. There are multiple different animation types you're going to need. You don't have to have them. By default, you'll have the skeleton fighter's animations. A lot of them won't work with your model, but they will be there. It'll play the sound effects. It'll play as if there was an animation. So there are 3 very important animations you're going to need. You're going to need a walking animation, an idle animation, and a death animation. Once again, this is not a tutorial on how to use Blockbench. If you need to know how to do that, go look that up now, and then come back once you've finished. Now that you've made your models and your animations and textures in Blockbench, you want to put them into your game folders. So go back to your Hytale that you saved in your quick access, user data, saves, into your world, mods, and then your pack name. Then go into common, NPC, undead, skeleton, animations, and then your animations, your damage animations like your death and hurt animations will go in here. And then your idle and walking animations and spawning animations will go in default. Now go back to skeleton. Your mob model will go in the models folder right here. Just plop it in here. Your model textures will go inside the model textures folder. If you wanted to add attachments, you'd put it in the attachments folder in here. Now that you've added that, you have to tell the game where your models are. So go to your model asset, undead, whatever you named your creature, and then click on general right here, and then model, click this, click on your pack, NPC, undead, skeleton, models, and then this is where you would choose your model. It won't show up when you click it. Don't worry, it's normal. Just click somewhere else and then click back in it and it'll be there. Now it's going to look a little funny because you need to put your texture on. So click texture, and then same thing, go down the path and go into model textures and choose your texture. Once again, it won't show up. You have to click off and then click back in. And there you go. You should, if you've done everything correctly, you should see your little mob right here, and you can spin them around and take a look at them. Now, if you made animations for your mob, this is where you would use those. So down here, click animations, and then you have a whole bunch of animations you can see. If you want to make one for every single different type, this is all the different types of animations you would need. To apply your animations, it's very simple. Find the one that you made. So we made idle. Click into animations, 0, and then right here you click it, and then go down the folder path and click your animation. It's that simple. Inside of Hytale, you can change the speed, you can make it loop, and you can change the blending duration between this and other animations. All that is inside of Hytale. You do not have to worry about that inside of Blockbench. Then you just do that and go down and choose every single animation you've made and just apply them. So even if you did not make attachments for your mob, you have to have a default attachment and have a blank one. It's gonna give you errors saying that the game can't find the attachment and won't put it on your creature. That's because you didn't make one if you don't have attachments. But if you don't, this is what happens. It makes your creature look really disgusting and messed up, and it tries to put blank faces that don't exist onto your character. So make the default attachment, make a 0, and just leave it empty. To change your creature's hitbox, you shouldn't have to if you're making a player-sized creature, just leave it by default. But if you are making some weird shaped creature, this is where you would change your hitbox. There is no way to visualize your hitbox yet, so you have to just mess around with it and keep going into the game, smacking your creature until you find the right hitbox. Now, after you've done all that, you can minimize your asset editor, go into your creative tools in Hytale, world, spawn entity, then click this little magnifying glass up here and type in your creature's name. You should, if you've done everything right, you should see it in this list. So mine is right here. You'll see it in front of you, and then click spawn. And your little guy will spawn in, and he'll be walking around and he'll just hang out. If you want them to see you in creative, on the right side of your screen in your inventory, underneath movement and flight, allow NPC detection. Checkmark that on, and he'll start attacking you. Also, make sure you fly around and check and see that your creature spawns in naturally without you spawning it in, like mine does. If you did everything correctly, it should spawn in wherever you set it to. If you need to go somewhere else because you chose your mob to spawn in a different instance, go to Creative Tools, World, Instances, and go to the zone you chose it to spawn in. Now that you've made sure your creature can spawn in and can walk around in the world, now you want to make sure it can drop stuff when you kill it. It should already have a default drop list from the skeleton fighter that we ported over, but if you want to change that, it's very, very easy. Go into loadouts, do your drop list, container, item, and then right here is whatever your item is. It'll just pop up a little window. You can have it drop Hytale items if you want. Whatever item you want, just scroll through here and choose it. You can choose the minimum amount it'll drop and the maximum it can drop. Do the same thing in this other drop list you made. You gotta do it in both the loadout and the undead drop list. After that, just spawn in your creature and kill it to make sure it drops what you want it to drop. There you go. I told mine to drop gunpowder, and I have gunpowder. Now that you've made sure your mob drops the items, and it works how you want, and you're finished with your mob, then guess what? You're done. Now all you gotta do is turn it into a usable mod for other people. If you want to share it, if not, then that's it, you're done. But to turn it into a usable mod, go back into your Hytale quick access, user data, saves, your world name, mods, your pack name. Now go somewhere else, go to your desktop, make a folder, a temporary folder, that you can copy that you can copy and paste all of your files into. This doesn't happen very often, but I have had it happen that once I zip these into a folder, it'll corrupt it and I won't be able to use it again and won't be able to edit my mod. So make sure you just copy and paste it somewhere else. So if that does happen, all you have to do is copy these back over into the game. So select all 3 of these. There should be common, a server folder, and a manifest.json. All right. After you have them all 3 selected, right click and drag, 7-zip, add to archive. Make sure it is a zip folder. It has to be zip. Name it whatever you want to name it. Click OK. And this is what we're going to be sharing to other people. And if you want to upload it to CurseForge, this is what you're uploading. Now, if you want to upload it to CurseForge, first off, don't flame me for using Edge. For some reason, CurseForge does not work in Opera GX. That's why I'm using Microsoft Edge. If you want to upload your mod to Microsoft Edge, go to Projects, create a project, choose the game Hytale, do your project name, upload your image 400 by 400. Make sure this is an image that you made. You can just take a screenshot of the game and resize it if you want to. Don't use a picture from a real game or anything else. It'll get flagged and it won't be approved for release on CurseForge. Write a small summary. This is what people are going to see if they hover over your mod in CurseForge before they click on it. So it's like a 1 or 2 sentence thing. Choose where it goes under. Mods, mobs, characters. And then you can choose to allow comments or not. And then click next. I'm not going to. I'm going to go into this instead. Once you click next, you'll be able to edit your description. This is where you're going to make the description for your mod. So for mine, this mod adds creepers for Minecraft into the world of Hytale. Be pretty detailed. This is what people are going to see. Determine whether or not they're going to download your mod or not. You can add some pictures in here too so they can see what they're getting. Click next. And then you'll upload your file. It'll look like this. Choose your file. What you're uploading is the zip file. This is what you're uploading. You can keep the display name or change it if you want. It doesn't really matter. You can choose to have it public as soon as they approve it, or you can just have it wait and you'll have to click a button to upload it. Game, make sure you select early access. That's all you can select for now. Change your release type to release. You can add in a changelog. Only you'll be able to see this, so this is for you to keep track. If you have any dependencies that your NPC relies on, this is where you would choose that, and then click add file, and it'll upload it. Now, if you're in Microsoft Edge like I am, because Opera doesn't work with CurseForge, after you upload it, it will not show up here. It'll take like 5 minutes for it to show up. So then you can go back over to Google or to Opera GX or to wherever, then go into your projects, then click into it, and you'll see the file in here. Once you've uploaded your mod to CurseForge and it's been approved, you go to Browse, and then search up your mod, and there it is. It'll just be there. Then you can click Install, and then launch the game from CurseForge, and it'll work just like any other normal mod. And that's it. There you go. You have successfully added a mob into Hytale. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them. I am not too experienced with this yet. I'm still very, very new to the mod tools, as is everyone else. I'm just getting this information out there so that the people who are smarter than me can go deeper and figure the harder stuff out. If you figure anything else out, put it in the comments, let other people know, and have a great day.